Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today, we'll be talking about when the Green Goblin killed Spider-Man. We start at the Triskelion. In this place, they have Norman Osborn captured. They've already gotten what they were looking for from him. So, they prepare to kill him. But before they can do any harm, he begins to transform into the ultimate Green Goblin. He was supposed to have lost his powers, but it was all a ruse. The alarms go off in the Triskelion. It's time to contain him. It's all in vain. This version of the Green Goblin is too powerful to be contained. The guards arrive to confront him, but there's nothing they can do, as the Green Goblin uses his powers to burn them all. After freeing himself, he goes for his team of supervillains, the Sinister Six, consisting of Electro, Kraven the Hunter, Sandman, Dr. Octopus, and the Vulture. After freeing them, Electro takes the opportunity to steal electricity from the place to gain more energy. After that, the six leave in a helicopter. After leaving the Triskelion, they arrive at an apartment. When they turn on the TV, they see that the city is in chaos, and this could be their chance to escape. Norman refuses to do that. He tells them they don't need to leave. Everything they need is in this city. Dr. Octopus says he doesn't want to stay. He wants to leave the country for a new life. He may be grateful to Norman for saving his life, but he has no intention of going after Peter Parker. Those words only anger Norman, who transforms into the Green Goblin and attacks him, throwing him out of the building. Before Octavius hits the ground, he extends his tentacles to save himself. Now we have a fight between these two supervillains. Seeing that the Doctor is okay, Norman launches another attack. The Goblin is about to strike with his fiery hands, but Octopus lands a strong blow with one of his tentacles. Octavius tells him that just because he doesn't want to fight doesn't mean he's forgotten how to do it. Meanwhile, Peter Parker knows his enemies have escaped. Moreover, they know where he lives. So, he goes home to ask Aunt May and Gwen Stacy to leave the place. When things calm down, he'll call them to let them know everything is okay. Aunt May knows Johnny and Bobby will come home later, so Gwen leaves a note for them to leave as soon as they arrive. Back to the fight, the Goblin is mercilessly attacking Octopus with fireballs. There are so many that Octavius falls to the ground. He can't do much to give his opponent a tough battle. Dr. Octopus begs him to stop, but the Green Goblin reproaches him for his actions and reminds him of everything he's done for him. Octopus shouldn't have denied help to the man who freed him. With that, the two prepare to end the fight. The Goblin's fiery hands clash with the Doctor's tentacles. Octavius knows this will be his end. The Goblin gradually destroys the tentacles, killing Dr. Octopus at that moment. Elsewhere, MJ calls Spider-Man to tell him she's seeing the Green Goblin on TV. He's just killed Dr. Octopus. Peter arrives only to realize it's true and that Octavius was brutally murdered. Civilians at the scene tell Peter that a monster resembling Hulk was here. They then point him in the direction he went. After wandering the streets for a while, Peter arrives at a bridge where he sees Captain America with Nick Fury. Peter notices Punisher aiming at the Captain from a distance. Before he can shoot, Peter moves to protect Captain America and takes the bullet himself. Spider-Man stands up. He's severely injured but knows he can't go to a hospital because everyone will find out who he is. So, he puts some webbing on the wound. Shortly after, he turns and sees all his enemies passing by. It's time to leave this place. Bobby and Johnny arrive at the house. They see the note Gwen left. So, they are about to leave when the villains arrive. They ask for Peter Parker. Obviously, neither of them will say anything. With no other option, Johnny transforms into the Human Torch to face the Green Goblin. In the confrontation, they clash with their fire powers. Johnny has the upper hand and continues attacking the Goblin with his fire powers. It seems like he might defeat the Goblin. Meanwhile, Bobby notices someone else is about to attack Johnny. Sandman is about to attack him again. Bobby transforms into Iceman to prevent that. He's about to launch an attack, but just as he's doing so, Electro takes advantage of the distraction and hits Bobby with a lightning bolt. Johnny is about to transform again, but is held back by Sandman once more. Bobby attacks them with ice spikes, which Kraven destroys with his gun. Electro strikes Bobby again, knocking him unconscious. Sandman asks about Norman, as he was badly injured by Johnny's attacks. They also wonder if they're at the right house. They don't see Peter Parker anywhere. Suddenly, in the distance, Peter Parker arrives. Vulture sees him and goes after him, but Peter shoots webbing into his eyes. He then ties him up with the web and throws him away from the place. The villains are surprised to see him because they have an unmasked Spider-Man in front of them. As he arrives, he stands in front of them and starts saying a few words. He mostly does this to buy some time. In the distance, the Green Goblin, Johnny, and Bobby are still unconscious. The villains realize that Peter is a mess. The villains go after him, but Peter breaks a water terminal and aims it in their direction. This causes Electro to go out of control and electrocute Kraven, who falls headfirst to the ground. Sandman, being wet, can't move. Electro is weakened. Peter takes advantage of this to grab Electro with his web and deliver a powerful blow. Spider-Man has finished them all off but is shocked when he turns around. A large crowd sees him without his mask. Civilians take the opportunity to record him. Peter, being severely injured, doesn't care about this. He asks for help to call an ambulance. A woman is already calling for help. Suddenly, someone tells Peter that there's something behind him. Sandman is completely soaked. Despite this, he struggles to beat Peter, who eventually manages to escape. As Peter swings through the air, the Vulture arrives and delivers a strong kick from behind. He also throws a couple of bombs at him. Peter tries to block them using his webs. His defense doesn't work as the bombs explode anyway. Meanwhile, Aunt May receives a call from one of her neighbors, informing her that Peter Parker is being killed. Hearing this, Aunt May turns the car around to head back home. We're with Peter, who is still being attacked by Sandman. Peter wonders where everyone else is. There's no one to help him at the moment. Where are the X-Men? The Titans? Anyone? A neighbor offers to help Peter, but Sandman is about to attack him again from behind. Before Sandman can harm him, he is struck by Electro. The villain says that with Norman gone, he will be the one to kill Spider-Man. The Vulture agrees, but tells him to get it over with once and for all. Electro is about to kill him when suddenly he's shot in the chest. The impact causes the villain to lose control. Unable to control his powers, he explodes. The explosion also affects the Vulture and Sandman, leaving them completely out of the battle. The one responsible for this is Aunt May, who arrived with Gwen at the scene to support Peter. After all the commotion, Aunt May calls for medical assistance for Peter, who is severely injured. Meanwhile, Gwen goes to help Bobby. Peter apologizes to his aunt for everything that happened. She tells him there's no need to apologize. Suddenly, Aunt May looks up and is shocked. The ultimate Green Goblin has recovered. This time, he's determined to kill his enemy once and for all. Peter manages to grab Gwen and Aunt May to save them from the Green Goblin's fiery attack. After saving them, he tells Gwen that no matter what happens, no matter what Aunt May says, she must get her out of this place. Gwen doesn't listen and stays there, doing nothing. Aunt May is still worried about Peter because he's bleeding heavily. The Green Goblin is about to attack again when Peter intercepts him with a powerful punch to the face. After hitting him, Peter goes to Johnny for help. The wall crawler knows that in his current condition, he can't defeat him. Johnny has woken up and transforms back into the Human Torch. Now that he's recovered, he faces off with the Green Goblin. The two have a big fight, battling fire with fire. But in the end, Johnny can't harm the Green Goblin. The latter knocks him out for the second time. The Green Goblin not only defeats him, but also absorbs his powers. We now see a new and improved Green Goblin, who has combined his powers with the Human Torches. A furious Green Goblin shouts Peter Parker's name in desperation, destroying everything around him. Peter Parker gets up and, with what little strength he has left, starts hitting him. He asks him what will happen if he kills him. His son, whom he killed, won't magically come back to life. Moreover, his world as an industry leader won't return to the way it was. The Goblin doesn't care about any of that. The important thing is that Peter Parker will be dead. That's all he needs. Suddenly, a trailer with Mary Jane arrives at full speed. She is determined to run over the Green Goblin mercilessly. The trailer crashes into the Green Goblin. Peter manages to escape. The Goblin is left beside the trailer. Seeing Mary Jane trapped in the crash, Norman seizes the opportunity to attack her, but before he can do so, Peter arrives in time to save her. After kissing her, he throws her out of the area, making her land in a web he created. Meanwhile, the goblin is recovering. He's emerging from under the cars, telling Peter that this is Judgment Day. Peter grabs the trailer Mary Jane crashed into the Green Goblin and hits him with it. Peter is about to deliver a second blow when the goblin says he will destroy his entire family just as he destroyed his. He also says he'll kill everyone he knows. Peter hits him again with the trailer. Suddenly, there's a huge explosion that sends Peter flying. As he falls, Johnny rushes to his aid. When he reaches Peter, he tells him that it seems he's done it. He managed to defeat the Green Goblin. Peter tells him to wait because that was the last thing he had left. Mary Jane arrives, running to help. She tries to take him to a hospital. Johnny offers to fly him there, but she refuses because of Peter's condition. Gwen and Aunt May arrive at the scene, only to see Peter on the ground and a desperate Mary Jane calling for help. Aunt May, in great distress, tries to help him. If they don't do something quickly, he'll die. With a big smile, Peter tells her that he couldn't save Uncle Ben, but he did save her. At that moment, Peter's heart stops. Aunt May screams in despair. Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy burst into tears. In the end, we see Norman Osborn burning in the flames. No matter the intensity of the fire, the Green Goblin ends with a small smile. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.